Hello, welcome to the quick take after Fulham's win over Everton yesterday. What a win, what a start to the season. I've just had a smile painted on my face for the last 18 hours or so. The Fulham are back, and so is Jack Kelly. Hello, mate.
Hello, how are you?
Look, listen to that voice. Listen to that voice. How are you feeling this morning?
I've got a bit of a headache. My voice is not in good shape. However, it doesn't take away from the fact we've got 3 points in a game that was very important to win.
Yeah, I mean, we rode our luck, we rode a storm. We're very thankful to Bernd Leno for producing a masterclass. I don't know why I wore a t-shirt that actually matches with the wall today. I just look like a floating head. None of this was very well thought out or planned, but hey, we can just be happy, bask in the glory of 3 points. Jack, what was it like yesterday at Goodison? It looked like a lot of fun. I was very sad not to be there.
It was good. I think there was a lot of nervous tension around the fan base because we were talking about this on the way up. When was the last time we went into a game thinking we actually need to win this or we actually need to get something from the game? Because for the last half of last season, we were pretty much comfortably mid-table, knowing we were going to stay up. So to start from zero again and sort of switch back into that mentality of we're now fighting for every single point we can possibly get. Um, there was some tension, there was some nervousness, there was some excitement, a lot of pink shirts, a lot of white shirts, and it was really good. I thought the Fulham fans yesterday were phenomenal. And despite we didn't play our best, we were second best for most of the game, but we stuck with the players. We stuck with Mitrovic, who came on the pitch as well and displayed a really good performance on and off the pitch from Fulham fans and the Fulham players.
Yeah, I mean, you could really hear it watching on the telly yesterday. The Fulham fans in fine voice, especially once it was 1-0. I mean, that first half was a little concerning, right? I mean, Everton made a lot of chances, and if they had a striker that could finish their dinner, basically not Neil Mopay, as good as Leno was, like it was a little bit concerning how many chances they made. I know that the XG weapons will be out in force over the next week about how Fulham have overperformed again, but at the same time, we can't just ignore it and just be like, "Oh yeah, that's great. We could get away with that every week."
Mm. No, it's not sustainable, and we saw that last season with the chances we were conceding last season, and people were saying that if Fulham were to keep this up next season, they'll be in more trouble because it's not sustainable. I will say that the Decore chance is obviously a very very good chance, but it only comes about because Ream slips. If he keeps his footing, he might be able to get that ball clear. But it was quite alarming, even when Danjuma went through and he was offside. How many times they were let in? Through our defence, Iwobi got a lot of joy down the left-hand side, and that was concerning. Um, the amount of times he managed to cut in and get a shot away or get a pass through into the box. Was Calvin Bassey deserving of coming out the team after the friendly performance? I'd say no, but Marco Silva did say he wasn't ready to play. Like, he still needed more time. He still said the players are still at 80, 70, 80%. From what he was described as a strained pre-season. So I can understand why Ream came in, but it was a worrying performance from a couple of our players, Ream being one of them. But I'm not going to sit here and start slating Tim Ream. I just thought it was one of those days where Everton actually had the bit between their teeth and they really gave us a good fight, especially, given what happened for them last season. They had to stay up on the last day, and given they're at home first. And that's a tricky atmosphere to sort of play through. And the fact we came away with 3 points is almost no short of a miracle, really. The chances they had. I mean, they missed an open goal, they hit the bar. I mean, it was just ridiculous and quite relentless, and showed signs of a team who have maybe improved since last season. But if you can't get a striker through who can't put the ball in the back of the net, you're going to really struggle.
So, I mean, let's look at the goal. Such a lovely move. Mitrovic part of it, brilliant cut across the box from Andreas Pereira. Decadova Reed in the back post. Decadova Reed, I saw someone describe him yesterday as the Jamaican army knife, and I think it's the best description for Bobby Reed that I've ever heard of. Yeah, I mean, talk about the celebrations when that goal went in.
I think it was important to realise that Willian's the reason I reckon Willian was substituted at half time was because he picked up a yellow card. I still thought he looked okay at times, but when Bobby De Cordova-Reid came on with Pereira and Mitrovic, it's amazing how all three combined for the goal. It's a really nice pass to play in Mitrovic, who sort of finds a bit of space. It's actually a really clever pass from Mitrovic to find Pereira. And this sort of reminds me of the goal he scored at Southampton last season with Vinicius. I think it was Harrison Reed who got the slide tackle that went across the box, and then Vinicius just taps in. But this time it's Pereira with a really, really, really good touch, because actually there needs to be a lot of power on that ball for it to drag itself across the box. And actually, at the time, I was thinking Pickford should probably come and get this, but there's a lot of speed on that ball, and Bobby Reid comes onto it, can't miss, and we were in absolute disbelief. How on earth we're winning this game? We took our chances, and I thought Bobby Reid, when he came on, was really good. Got the goal, had another chance to make it 2-0, and I think the goal actually boosted our confidence a lot. I know they sort of threw the kitchen sink at us in the last 10, 15 minutes or so, but we defended really, really well. And yeah, I love the fact that all three substitutions made the difference with the goal. Mitrovic celebrating like nothing's really happened. He was a lot of passion in that celebration. And yeah, Pereira, the assist, is just a really good way to start a season. And I love the fact Bobby Reid scored, because we always like underrate him. He's always there for the team. He'll do whatever he can, play in any position. I'm delighted he got the goal and gave us the 3 points.
Yeah, amazing. What did you think of the penalty shout? Or not? Sorry, not the penalty shout, but the disallowed goal for Everton on Match of the Day. They seem to be quite insistent that it should have counted. I still think it's a foul on Leno, but obviously we are biased. But yeah, your thoughts?
I think goalkeepers get a lot of protection in this sort of situation. So I can understand why Stuart Atwell has blown up before the ball's even hit the net, because he must have seen some sort of obstruction on the keeper. Fair enough. That's good. That's good news for us. However, I haven't watched Match of the Day highlights yet. I've only watched the Sky and Fulham highlights, but all I hear is that someone is in and off that ball's played in. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's one of those where we got away with it. Are we a bit lucky? Yeah, I think we got away with a lot of things yesterday, particularly getting 3 points instead of maybe one or maybe zero. Does that mean next week against Brentford we'll have a decision against us? Possibly. But for now, we'll take it. Obviously, if that was to happen for Fulham and we'd have scored and they gave a foul, we'd be furious. But I think if you look into it a little bit more deeply, there was a reason why the referee blew up as quickly as he did. And that's because the keeper was sort of clattered by an opposition player. And therefore, he's in danger of, being injured, or there's a coming together. And the goalkeepers, like I said, get a lot of protection from referees. We're very lucky. It's one of those things. I'm sure there'll be a decision that goes against us soon. And that's just swings and roundabouts of football, and especially in the Premier League.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up in a minute because we're just slightly struggling today with the internet. But we'll do a few comments just before we go. Avas just says, "Morning, lads. Morning, Avas." Marcus says, "Leno the hero," and then Planet Peckham 1, Leno Magic, subs made all the difference. I like this one from Darkwing. It says, "No Polina, no starts for Mitro, Pereira, and Ream looked like a man with no pre-season, but it's winning badly that keeps you up." I think that's the best comment that we've had. I think that's totally my thoughts. Like, yeah, we were underprepared for yesterday's game. Still got 3 points. Things are looking very, very good for Fulham, and if we can keep up some of this into Brentford next week, even to get 3 points in that, wow, what a position we'd be. Carl Scott says, "Hello, Fulhamites from Hamburg." This one says, "Lukic looked great again," and Lou Samuel says, "Tarkowski's hand was responsible for Leno letting go of the ball." It was my thoughts too. I think that Leno was definitely fouled in that one, and also, yeah, Lou says also pretty blatant handball from the Mitro shot. Don't know how that wasn't given. You can see kind of why it wasn't, but I think it was a penalty at the same time. I'm surprised that VAR waved it away as quickly as they did. Anyway, sorry for the slight technical difficulties on today's quick take, and the fact that Jack's got no voice and I look like a wallpaper. But anyway, we've all had a lot of fun. Jack, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks. It was one of the best away games we've done in a while, so I'm glad that everyone could enjoy that one.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.